So here we are. It is done, right? So Dogecoin has finally surpassed the 50 cent mark, bringing me up just today alone $28,000, right? So I'm up 28,000 just today, with 40,000 that I haven't even reinvested after what I did yesterday, right? So I just bought back into Dogecoin at 42 cents because remember I was telling you guys in my previous video that there is still time to buy back in, right? As long as there's room to grow and depending on how many coins you're going to grab. I grabbed 200k. Right before that, I had 300k Dogecoin that I sold and took a pretty good profit, right? Boosting me from about 108 to 119, the profit of about 11k right there. And Dogecoin continued to grow, so I grabbed 200k again at 42 cents, almost 43 cents. And here we are today where it actually hit 60 cents at one point, 10 a.m. today. Then it took a massive dip, at which point Robinhood was doing its own little bullshit. Servers were crashing or something along those lines. And of course, I'm sure undoubtedly there will be more issues with Robinhood as we go on. But the question is that what do we do now with the profits we're going to take after we're done with this little phase, if it even is a phase, of Dogecoin, right? What do we do with this profit that we've grabbed? Right, there's a small list of things people will be doing. Some people are going to go out there and treat themselves and blow the money up, maybe buy whatever it is they wanted, maybe a new computer, a new iPad, or possibly even a new car, depending on the amount of gains you've got. Some people will go ahead and invest their money, try to grow it even more, right? So there's a bunch of options right now with the fact that others like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are also becoming quite appealing to look at right now, right? Because Bitcoin has sunk. It is at a dip right now, in a sense, where you're basically good to go to buy in, right? I had two Bitcoin for a very long time. On this day where it rose like this, like crazy, it went up to 58k. I sold both of my Bitcoins and then I invested that into Dogecoin. So here I am right now with no Bitcoin, and this is there. Ethereum has been magical this past week. As you can see with the 25% increase, it actually went up from about 2,500 all the way to a brand new high. It broke 3,400, almost touched 3,500, right? This is a brand new height for Ethereum. And Ethereum being the coin that it is, with all of us knowing who created it, it is not exactly decentralized. We know who owns it, we know what it does, we know what it's used for, and more recently it was the main source of transactions for trading NFTs, right, which is a huge brand new online art market. So that being said, Ethereum is seeing a lot of popularity right now, and people are also speculating that this might be the next Bitcoin. Now, the real stock markets, the non-crypto related stuff, like right here you can see these guys are actually all starting to get really interested in it. Right here you can see S&P Dow Jones actually launched a Bitcoin and Ethereum index, right? So they're actually looking at it. All eyes are on crypto now because crypto is no longer something scamish or scary or bullshit, because it's not bullshit when you have a day where you went up $30,000, right? It's not bullshit when you have people that started off the year with a small investment and now they're millionaires. So clearly it's something important, and both of these guys are really getting a lot of eyes on them. Litecoin is also being very impressive. Today it actually hit a very good high, 326 once again. It had hit 326 sometime earlier as well this month, as you can see right here, sometime in April. So it's that was a good sell signal. I probably should have sold, but I wasn't. I mean, there's too much to look at right now. I've been holding my Litecoin since it was 130. I bought in and sold a couple times with this guy as well. So there's a lot to do, So what should you do? Well, what you'll do with your Dogecoin gains really depends on how much your gains are, right? Like this morning when I woke up and I saw that I was up almost 30k on Dogecoin, my first instinct was, oh my god, I can actually go ahead and lease myself an Audi E-tron because that car is freaking sexy to me. But then I thought about it. I was like, I don't really need that right now. I don't necessarily have a really nice parking spot for myself. I don't have a garage in my current house right now, so I wouldn't really want to park that on the street or park it anywhere else where it might get injured. I felt like I could continue growing this. I can continue growing this. So I was like, well, my only real other thing I talk about on this channel are dividend stocks and then medically related stocks that are doing big things. Like last week I talked to you guys about Ocugen and Brooklyn Therapeutics, right? BTX, which I've been holding 10 shares of. It's down $9 right now. It was up $100 earlier. I look forward to this thing doing big things where I'm definitely going to go ahead and grab more of it while it's low, right? So that's one thing I can put my money into. After I sell everything, I should have this 40K plus another 100 something that I can spend on something. And my real plan right now is to go ahead and buy my favorite monthly dividend stock right now, which is Orchid Island Capital. So right here we're going to look at ORC. All right, so Orchid Island Capital is a Florida real estate stock. It's pretty freaking cheap. This is essentially a penny stock. I primarily bought it at 588, right? So I have 1,000 stocks of it, and you can see that I have a pending dividend payment from it right now. For my 1,000 shares, I'm going to get 0.065, excuse me, 0.065 cents per share, giving me $65. Now that might not sound like a lot, but if you look at my chart over here, let's say we update the numbers. I mean, I'm not that far off actually, so this is pretty good. 541 for the price. Let me actually change that back to what I paid for. No, what I paid for it was higher, so we'll leave it what it was, because this is what you would be paying if you bought it right now. So if anything, we can make it to 547, right? So that changes the cost to payout ratio. That's what I look at, right? I look at how much did the stock cost and how much am I going to get back to it in dividends. What is that ratio looking like? Ideally, you would want this ratio to be under 100. So you can see like something like this is too expensive, right? Oh, realty income, this ticker symbol O is definitely one that's talked about a lot. Very popular monthly dividend stock, but not exactly my favorite because the cost to payout ratio is pretty bad. So with ORC, what you're seeing is you're buying a stock that's pretty cheap, but for how much you're paying for the stock, you're getting a really high dividend. That's what that means. So if I have my $140,000, I can definitely pick up quite a bit of this. So let's see how much I can get. Let's just put so that's too far above. So I can get maybe 20,000, 30,000. I might be able to sell something and get 30,000 Orchid Island Capitals. And in addition to the 1,000 I have, let me just change this to 29,000. Yeah, so I should be able to sell some other stocks I have and get this. So that being said, if I own 30,000 total of ORC, right, and it keeps paying me 0.065 cents a share, let's see how much that would be. So 30,000 times 0.065, that's $19.50 a month. I would be making $19.50 a month on passive income from dividends just because I would be holding 30,000 ORC. I wouldn't really care too much if it's going to fluctuate in price a little bit here and there. Maybe it'll come down to like 490. Maybe it'll go up to 620. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking to sell or buy more. Once I would do that big investment, I would be making back almost $2,000 a month, right? $2,000 a month sounds really good to me because that would actually cover the Audi E-tron lease if I was to lease one, because who buys cars, right? It's stupid to buy a car. Lease a car, you enjoy it, you have fun with it, you return it after 3 years, and then you move on to something new. So, and you don't have to finance a big ass loan on your head. So that being said, that's looking like my plan for what I'm going to do with my Doge Gains. For others, depending on how much your Doge Gains are, you can go ahead and put your money into Ethereum. You could put your money into Litecoin. You could even pick up a fraction of Bitcoin. You could pick up as many ORC as you can pick up, and then build from there. Because again, dividend stocks, I've been doing dividend stocks and buying dividend stocks for over a year, right? Where every month I was getting like maybe $8 in dividends. It's pretty petty money, right? But that's how you start. That's how you start. You save up, you keep making money, you have a job, you save that income, you put a portion of your income every month into Robinhood or whatever app you're using to buy your stocks, whatever it is that you're trading with, and so on. And in this phase right now, in this era where there's something happening every time, right? Ever since this year began, we had the huge GameStop, lots of millionaires popped out of that, AMC, right? Now we have this doggy thing. There is always something happening like this. And on top of that, we are together on my channel always trying to grab penny stocks that will skyrocket, right? And the most recent one we talked about was BTX, Brooklyn Immunotherapeutics, a pharmaceutical company that is based in New York. If you look at it, it was literally worth $6. It went up by 10x to $60. It went up a lot more than that. It actually hit 90 almost. You know, so this is the kind of stuff we look forward to grabbing, where we can day trade this, get huge gains, and then come out. So right now, I'm not doing a day trade on this. I'm holding it. I actually picked it up at a pretty late price, but I had told people about it when it was about like $10. My money was tied up in other things at the time, with growing my Bitcoin and then bringing it over to Dogecoin. That was my plan at the time. But for anyone else who wasn't doing any of that, could have easily picked up Bitcoin anywhere at this entire path. I had first mentioned it to a couple of people I know, and I don't remember if I talked about it on my channel at that time. When it was about, I think, $10, like $10, $11. And even then, if you picked it up at $10, $11, you would 5x your money by the time it reached 66. 55, you would 5x your money. So that being said, this is the kind of stuff we try to grab on my channel based off of the results that are coming out of research, clinical research that's happening, right? Same thing with Ocugen, the guy that's making Covaxin, a new vaccine that's being used in many places and currently being discussed to be used in India, right? That we could have grabbed this a long time ago when it first actually popped up as a penny stock. There was a lot of chit chat about this being a very important and relevant penny stock. It had its first spike, you know, in February, where it went all the way up to 1581, which really brought the stock into people's eyes. And after that, I had kept up on the news, right? So you can always keep up on news on different stocks right here in FinViz by just typing in Ocugen and seeing what's popping up over here, right? What is actually happening? What are people talking about, right? You can look up more about Ocugen just by their own website, see what they're doing, and keep up on their research, and you would see, you know, that they're making big moves, and eventually something's going to happen. And the first time they mentioned they were going to be relevant for Covaxin, boom, it skyrocketed, right? And it hit the same 15 again. So that being said, there's always a chance it'll happen again. You keep your watch on it, you keep this saved in a list, you know, and you just check every day. Is there anything happening? Is it spiking again? If it's going back up, you buy it, you know. So this is the kind of stuff we do to try to really get our gains and set up some good income, and then use that money to invest into something else, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Be very clever in what you use your money for, and make sure that you use your money to make more money, right? Think about the two ideas I mentioned. I said I wanted to lease an Audi E-tron straight up, and I could have done that. But the better investment would be to use the money to put it into ORC, where I'm going to get more than enough dividend payments to go ahead and lease my ORC. But I wouldn't lose my money. My money would be sitting in ORC. I'd be getting free dividends, passive income, without having to really do anything physically active for that. And I'd be freely paying my lease without any issues, right? So that's my plan, and that's something that I look forward to talking to you guys about as we go on. I'm going to buy and hold whatever I said, 30,000 ORC, and use that to pay for my Audi E-tron. So let's see how that goes. Thank you very much for joining. Let's keep going. I look forward to bringing you guys more penny stocks, medically related stocks, and dividend portfolio information to keep harboring and growing your portfolio, and we can get there to the 1 million mark together. Thank you very much.